So Open Color is GMG's flagship product. It is a spectral database of everything that's color. So what happens is Open Color becomes your company's color management database. So every color that comes through the business is managed within Open Color. The benefit of that being is that because we're capturing all the data spectrally, it means that we can actually predict accurately on whatever print application someone is using how that color is going to look before they even get to the press. So upstream, before they even push the button to go into production, they can see whether they're going to get that color or not. The benefit of that for them is that they can go back to their customer and say, we can't achieve that color on that particular substrate with the gamut available to us because that's the restriction. Whereas if we move to this device, you can get the color you want, Mr. Customer, and they've not had to waste any time or money proving that point. The other benefit is, let's say that historically you were a traditional flexo printer, all of a sudden you've invested in digital, you now got to print across the two different types of application. Open Color can take the color that you want to achieve and adjust it so that both devices print the same. Obviously that's dependent on the gamut of the devices that you're printing on, but the ability to have consistent color across different devices on different substrates with different print applications, and that's what Open Color gives you in conjunction with our Color Server product. So it just allows you to accurately predict exactly what's going to happen with that color on that device, and you can proof that as well. So part of the solution now is that we've got dynamic profiling and proofing. So let's say you're creating a project for a job, you've printed it, and as soon as you publish that project, it dynamically creates a proofing profile based on that press condition. So if you've got a house standard that you print to, as soon as you've fingerprinted that press, Open Color creates a proofing condition based on that, so you can then supply your customer proofs based on the actual press conditions, which some companies want to do because obviously you've got the FOGRA standards that people work to, but some companies want a bespoke standard. And the other good thing about Open Color is, let's say that you are trying to match a brand color that maybe you produced a few years ago. What you can then do is you just read that color spectrally. Open Color takes that in, and any project that's within Open Color will automatically update that color to get the best match possible. So you take away the need for outputting, especially in a large format world, that pick a winner. So you don't need to worry about that. You can just read it and you know straight away whether you're going to achieve that, and you can physically give the customer either this is going to be, if we talk about delta E's, that color on this device is going to be 3 delta E away. Are you happy with that? Here's the proof to show you what the color is going to look like based on that press condition. You can set the expectations before there's any trouble downstream when you produce the job and the customer says, oh, that's not the color that I was expecting to see.
So I worked for a print service provider in London that was purely large format many years ago, and they were atypical of an old-fashioned, I'll call it, wide format producer, where they had an onyx rib driving devices, HPs or old NCAD printers, and they would amend each artwork that came in to fit the one profile they had for their range of medias, which is a very slow, laborious, painful, wasteful way to work. What we've seen now, as print service providers who are litho printers or flexo printers add a wide format or a grand format to save money and time outsourcing it, we're finding there's a real need then for colour or cross-fleet management of colour across various devices, and that can be laser, it can be toner, it can be inkjet, it can be water-based, it can be solvent, it can be UV. And I think the people that we're dealing with now in this commercial print sector have a much better understanding of the way colour works than your wide format producers. In the reverse, the wide format producers now are being requested by the brands they're dealing with to step up to brand colour implementation, to be able to print the brand colour as it should be. Close enough isn't good enough nowadays, whereas it used to be. And I think the GMG products that we have can align that and enable them to print right first time, every time, across a variety of print substrates.
Open Color gives you that full control across various print applications, different devices, different substrates, and with especially in the label, folding carton, packaging world, we're doing a lot of business because of that fact, where you've got people with multiple applications trying to match brand colours or house colours, whatever it may be.